Wanderers, welcome to the Wandering Dutchman podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Celebration Ice.
Ice baths for humans. Silly. Ice baths for cold adult beverages. Genius. When you're preparing the cooler, there are only 3 steps needed. 1, cooler. Simple. 2, ice. Even more simple. 3, beverages of choice. Now, you can fail the simple 3 steps of preparing the cooler if you aren't utilizing Celebration Ice. Use a local company right in the heart of Jasper that cares about this community and the people in it. When you buy a bag of Celebration Ice, you aren't just getting the benefit of the best ice around, you're also helping a local business. Don't be an idiot. Buy Celebration Ice.
The Wandering Dutchman podcast.
Where none of us are Dutch, but we all live in Holland, Indiana. Join us where we talk about what we all wonder about. This is the Wandering Dutchman podcast coming to you from Smoker's Lounge.
The Wandering Dutchman. Yeah, yeah. The Wandering Dutchman. Yeah, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Wandering Dutchman podcast coming to you from Smoker's Lounge. Today's episode is brought to you by Celebration Ice. As we get into the hot, humid days, you do have a choice of what kind of ice you put in the cooler. Support local by supporting our friends over there at Celebration Ice. And they have a convenient little drop box there where you can get ice anytime, 24/7, 365. It is there. And we are here in Smoker's Lounge. Happy Friday to you. We hope you've had a wonderful week. We hope you enjoyed last week's episode as we're on the summer recording schedule, which brings us in one episode a week. We hope you enjoy it. Try to make them a little longer. We let them get a little loosey-goosey, which I think is what the people like, big fella.
Yeah, no, it's great.
It is great. It is great. We appreciate it. Dave doesn't know his password to Facebook, and that's a tough spot. So here we are. I want to just go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off.
Rip it off, brother.
The Hooters in Evansville,
Yeah?
down on Lincoln Avenue,
Never been.
has closed.
Oh.
You've never been to Hooters in Evansville?
No, sir.
Gone forever.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Do you have a favorite Hooters story?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There was a girl that was working there.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
That was I think she was a USI student.
Probably.
And she was featured on
Playboy?
Oh, Girls Gone Wild. We talked about that.
Oh.
She was on an episode of Girls Gone Wild, and a buddy of mine had recognized her one time
That's awkward.
and was like, "Holy shit, I think that's her." So we went down there every week. There was a whole bunch of us that would go, like during football season, we'd go down there on Wednesdays because it was all you can eat wings and
yeah.
water for like $7. You could get all you can eat wings. You could get water and an order of French fries and get out of there for about $10.
That's pretty good.
It was awesome back in the day.
Well,
And we went down there one time and he took that DVD with him.
she signed it.
Yeah. And he asked her to sign it. And
Can
she's
you
like,
imagine?
"You're such an asshole, but I'll do it."
This is what we just talked about in everything with like letting it go off the rails. But can you imagine that kids these days
They'll never know.
have no clue about Girls Gone Wild? And I think the guy did like a prison stint for a little bit on some things, or he kind of had a rough ending to whatever his story was.
There was a kid at VU.
Because there was a lot of girls that, like, he would put them on there, but they wouldn't have consent.
There was a kid at VU that was a year or 2 younger. I did 4 years down there at the VU.
It's a 2-year community college.
I got 2 2-year degrees.
Oh, okay. All right.
It should only taken 3 years. My first year was a trial. His sister was in my grade, and she was one of the popular girls. Good-looking gal.
Yep.
And nobody really knew her brother.
Or the Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yes. But he was down there, and I'd caught wind that this gal, she was going to IU. This would have been 2004-ish.
Yeah.
Playboy did a thing on like party colleges.
Yeah.
And his sister was in there. And I was like, dude, your sister's in Playboy. He's like, I know. I was like, no. Like, I always wanted to see him. And I couldn't. But now they're in Playboy. And he's like, yeah, dude, I know.
Yeah.
I gave him shit about that all the time.
So it's
Wild.
So it's funny because I thought you were going this route, but there was a guy in school who it was his girlfriend at the time, and then fiance was friends with this girl, and she was the Playmate of the Month, and she was from I don't know, but I remember bringing a Playboy to Hooters for her to sign, and it is somewhere in my childhood closet, and I don't know where. So someday when I'm forced to clean it out, hopefully I find it. But it was, I don't know. I think she worked there.
That'll be a nice heirloom.
Yeah, I think the kids will love it someday.
Speaking of childhood home, how's Papa Frank's basement stairs?
Yeah, we haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it's not there yet. And I dropped the drywall off, and
How long ago was that?
Drywall was dropped off quite a while ago, but yeah, it hasn't gotten done. I think with baseball season and the new arrival,
You got a lot on your plate.
Yeah, it is, and this semester with class and
Hot tub's been nice, so I bet.
I've gotten back into it because I've been walking again, and Janelle goes like, "Why are you putting on all this effort?" And I was like, annual physicals in October. I'm officially 4 months out. I got to start making it. Don't listen to this, Doc Flamian, but I got to get back to it because the lifting has been continual, but like the cardio aspect.
Oh yeah, you got to
either riding or walking hasn't been there because of baseball season. So I've been back at it. So I'll get home and I'll just go dip my toes in the old hot tub for a little bit, and that's been a nice sauna effect. Sitting there getting a little bit more sweat out. The other night it was kind of a nice starry night, but I got a problem because I get super hot sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
And I need that breeze to kind of come through. So with that little lifter of the cover coming off, I think I'm going to take a 2x4. And when I do sit in the hot tub, I'm going to brace it up a little bit where that breeze can kind of come through from the west.
Or maybe just
south.
put a fan out there.
Yeah. The bad thing of it is I've thought about putting an outdoor TV out there.
A TV and a fan would be the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a mini fridge.
Yeah. Anything else we should put out there?
That's it.
Yeah.
Other than a reminder to fix Papa Frank's drywall.
Some sort of intercom system to the house.
To let Janelle know. But I tell you what.
You need something.
Being out there this winter in that tub, though, I loved it.
I want a hot tub. That's high on my list of things to make happen in the next couple years.
I got a hot tub sled if you need to borrow it.
Heck yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad design. But, yeah, it's been good. But I saw the news that the Hooters had closed down. And if I'm going to be honest, it's probably been a decade since I was last down there.
I think this is what you guys call a hot take. I've been to Hooters probably half a dozen times in my life.
Yeah.
I'd pick B-dubs over Hooters any day.
For the wings or the girls?
The wings.
See, I think the attraction to Hooters was back in the day when you'd see some gorgeous ladies. But have you ever been to
Twin Peaks, though?
I was going to say, have you ever been to Twin Peaks?
We went as a group, remember?
Oh, yeah, we did.
We got to do that. We need another business trip.
Yeah, we do. We do need a business trip.
Hell yeah.
You got some free time coming up?
I can make free time for a business trip.
Golden Corral business trip?
Golden Corral.
I bet we could go.
We'll have a little appetizer at Twin Peaks, then head to the corral.
How do you feel about Twin Peaks, though?
I feel like it was.
I think I got hosed
good
on the tacos.
Oh, I don't even remember what I had. I didn't feel great that weekend anyway, and I was.
Yeah, we know
I was a little nervous. Like that was a big one. That was a big one. Like I was like, man, this is real podcast stuff. We're not just sitting in a lounge. We're going to set up somewhere.
Yeah.
So I had the nerves going on too.
I kind of thought it was wild, the fact that we walked into this hotel room with all this equipment.
Definitely they thought we were
three hefty guys in Arlo
shooting
and
porn.
they were like, yeah, those guys are doing gay porn in there for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Turns out not. We did a podcast.
Gay
Todd McComas. Our buddy Uncle Todd. Shout out Uncle Todd. Hope you're well.
Yeah, where you been, pal?
Yeah,
Dickhead.
it's been a spell. Well, I had lunch with him. That's been a while though.
Of course you did.
Well, he was at the resort, so he's traveling the circuit doing comedy for like these
That's like a
sheriffs
year
association.
ago.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Time flies when you're having fun. Time
He
does
needs to
fly.
set us up with people that are just into podcasts.
Well, that's true. I don't know that he's got any irons in the fire right now.
He needs to. No, I don't think he does. We need to get him on the show again.
We need to see. Well, we need to do that live show at our friends the Gaslight and have him open for
Those
us.
guys got a hell of a place for a live show. And now that we got lapel mics, I feel like we could do it a little bit easier.
The lapel mics for like into his system, John's system.
We'd still use what we have here, but instead of having to be tethered to these, we could be within 300 feet or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And, we could just move around a little better, not have to keep the microphone close every time you're talking.
Well, and another thing, our buddy Curtis Crow, we haven't talked to him in a while.
Good grief, I miss old Kurt Crow.
He's got that loose change.
That's right.
band.
They're playing at the Fourth Fridays coming up.
Did you guys go this past Fourth Friday?
No.
Yeah, I probably won't be in attendance for this one either.
Now, Fourth Fridays, that's Huntingburg.
Correct.
What's the one in Owensboro?
Fifth Friday.
Friday
after 5.
That's what it is.
Pitch poke, you owe me a Coke.
Oh,
The kids are in it. The
You
kids
should drink rum.
I just
Sorry,
had
I
this
just heard
conversation today. I'm not a big rum guy.
Go to the Dominican, unless you like warm beer. But if not, rum and Coke's where it's at.
Yeah.
I don't drink fruity drinks. I don't drink weird beer. I like Busch Light and booze. You know what I mean? Like,
I like Busch Light, Wild Turkey, and Winston Red.
now they did always stack us up though with 2 packs of peanut M&Ms and 1 Milky Way every day.
That's awkward.
Yeah.
Or random.
Jenna got a half a pack of peanut M&Ms every day. But I killed the Milky Ways.
Big fan of Milky Way.
Milky Way or Payday?
Milky Way.
You Payday guy?
No.
And that orange Fanta down there,
Orange Fanta.
that's what I had for breakfast every morning was an orange Fanta and coffee.
God damn.
And then straight to the rum.
Very nice.
An orange Fanta.
And coffee.
Well, not together, like it didn't mix.
Obviously, dipshit. I know what you meant. Different cups.
Your cup runneth over. You guys got anything else? Anything you're looking forward to?
Livin.
What?
Livin.
Hey, the neighbors are coming back tomorrow in real time. I'm excited to see the neighbors back. The hood has been.
Oh, the neighbors just due north.
Yeah, the neighbors have been, and neighbors due north, and then
California.
the brother, and then father-in-law, and brother Wes. They've all been.
Jakey Poo.
And Jakey. Oh,
They went to Vegas, right?
no, California. They flew out down to like San Diego. And they drove all the way up.
Oh,
San
that's right.
Diego.
That trip.
Look at that frog climbing up there again.
Now, God dang it! Where? I don't see it.
He bottom middle right now.
Oh, you go grab him. I tried to grab him earlier.
They went to San Francisco
That was. I had.
And
the
then
same
drove
time.
up
and then
Pacific
drove
Coast
up from
Highway.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Does Wes still have his situation going on?
I don't think. So. I don't know. I don't. He said it was almost over.
Almost over.
I don't feel like we can talk about this on the radio.
I'm on the satellite radio. I don't know.
Look at him.
Yeah.
I
He's
can
a
tell you
squirrely
his
bastard.
situation.
Tyler
hasn't
says
showed
that
up.
that was the same frog. That ain't the same frog.
Yeah, it is. That's
Piss,
the same frog as I.
no, piss toads don't do that.
We'd have to
He
figure out.
said that was the same one. I don't think it was a piss toad. Did you see it?
100% a piss toad on
Oh.
the floor in here. Yeah.
Well, go grab it. I tried to grab it earlier.
I ain't going out there and grabbing that frog.
Well,
You don't
put
want
it
no
on the table.
warts.
They got no
Warts.
shoes on.
Well, frogs don't have warts. That's toads.
Don't they give you warts when they pee on you?
No, that's a urban legend.
Are you for sure?
Mm-hmm.
He's a Boy Scout.
So how long were they gone?
Week.
Oh, and then they're coming back.
So that's why I had to get the pool up just in case when you have a pool party for when they got back. But it's supposed to rain.
Well, that'd be fun.
It's going to rain a bunch.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Well, them farmers that got it in the ground,
Good for
good
them.
shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because rain makes corn.
Corn makes whiskey.
and whiskey makes my
Baby, feel a little
frisky.
frisky.
Are you all right, buddy?
Yeah.
He's not on the same level.
I'm
as us.
not. I'm tired.
I'm
I
tired.
feel
tired,
like
balls.
shit.
Pitch poke, yo, Miko.
Phone's
Kids are doing that right now. It's what's taking up a lot of your mental space right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the doom scrolling neglect. Oh, easy.
It's broke.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
not
drop
happy
it too
about
hard. And you just got that one win?
After he fell on the last one in the truck.
Wintertime.
You've had a bad stretch of phone luck.
Yeah,
The blue
shit
goo?
Phones,
The blue goo is, we'll say, is your fault, but not necessarily 100%. The truck situation was 100% not your fault.
I want to pet that frog.
Well, go get him.
He jumped out of my hand.
Oh, look how he's all sprawled out.
Yeah.
Look at them frog legs.
I had a night like that. I was all sprawled out down in Punta Cana.
I know.
Not in Mexico.
They got photos of it.
Who's they?
Me.
Oh.
Jenna put a nice sensor square on it. It was the night after I fell off the boat.
Well, that was a traumatic experience.
Yeah. I took a shower and
Called it a night.
ready for bed.
Well, did you chafe a little bit? Is that why you're all sprawled out? You got to let that breeze.
Nah,
into it?
just letting the air conditioning in.
need to see that.
There it is.
Hey, well, you said that to me. That could be our album art for these 2 episodes.
Let me see. We have room service on the way up at that point in time.
That's the one I was talking about right there.
You ought to put that on a Christmas card there, big fella. Everybody'd be excited.
Big Dick Daddy.
Yeah, Big Dick Daddy. It is true. It is true. Well, I don't know if I have a whole bunch before we jump into it, but
Let's just jump in
Anybody
like
else?
that frog on the window.
yeah, jump in. Anything else you want to discuss? Oh, I did want to discuss.
Oh, let's hear it.
One thing. I witnessed something that was pretty cool today.
Aurora Borealis.
Did you see we were supposed to have another one, but it didn't work out that well?
Yeah.
No, I never knew. So if you are in the baby making business
Pouring the pud.
and you have a child that is breached, which means the feet are down or the butt's down, not the head. They want the head to come out first.
Yeah. Why do you reckon that is? Oh, I guess because everything goes down from there.
No.
Yeah.
'cause
Feet go
that's
first, your arms go up, and then you get stuck.
Well,
in
it's all about the head.
breathing.
Yeah.
breathing.
I don't know if I believe that.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you guys have women or wives. Your wives.
How much for your women? Your wife, the little girls. You guys ever seen Blues Brothers? That's a good one.
Hey, speaking of Blues Brothers, did you see that Blues Traveler and Gin Blossom are touring together this summer?
I've wanted to see Blues Brothers for a long time. I think that John Popper would love to sit in here
Blues
for an
Traveler.
episode.
Traveler.
Yeah.
Blues Brothers are dead. Well, one of
Okay,
them is.
well, I said Blues Brothers, but I've wanted to see Blues Traveler a long time. I think John Popper's used to be fat ass would love to sit in here on this podcast.
Yeah, he slimmed a little bit.
A lot.
Yeah, still
That was
plays,
back in the early thousands.
plays the jaw harp pretty good there. But anyway, so there's a process they call inversion. Now there's a real more like technical process, but the layman's term is inversion. And I watched a guy.
I think it's just, I don't think there's an N. I think it's just version.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm calling it inversion all day.
Yeah, I know. It's all right.
Yeah, well, that shit happens.
I got you.
He's like, I'm a lawyer. Got a doctor. Wouldn't be prudent for me to tell you your job with this inversion. Or thinking this moron.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I just was a fly on the wall. Kind of
Wouldn't
like
be
that.
prudent.
Kind of like that frog over there. Wasn't privy to
He
it.
gone.
But
Are you working on your cock push-ups because your hands didn't touch that thing?
that was wild. Folks at home. We're back. But anyways, I watched this guy kind of ratchet and turn in real time a child to get the head going south.
Child in a womb.
Yeah.
Not a child like on a table.
And it's just an impressive thing. And you would think, like, as much as he was like he was putting forth, like he was sprawled out, like putting the torque to it. Not the pork, the torque.
Got it.
Torque. And it was just a wild thing to watch.
It's a wild thing in general, the human anatomy
Yeah.
and its capabilities.
The guy that did the epidural, solid.
You had an epidural for that.
Yeah, they recommend it because there's a little bit of pressure on there. There's a little bit that they feel. And then there was a muscle relaxer because they want to relax that so it turns. And then I didn't.
Now, has your bride ever had to partake in anything like that in her line of work, but for like a 4-legged critter?
They use a calf jack when they come out breech.
I didn't know. I didn't know if she was like, because my wife, when they're
she had to use a calf jack. Is that what you were gonna say?
But she was always C-section, right? And she would talk me through now they're going to remove all this. And like she's strapped up.
Yeah.
And I'm behind the fence, the curtain, and she's telling me what they're probably doing.
Yeah.
And
I watched.
Like, you need to. I did not.
I'd lose my lunch.
And she's like, now
what?
This is a part where it might smell weird. They're gonna cut soon, and like my insides are gonna be on the outsides in a second. And she's just telling me about it nonchalant. I'm like, settle the down, woman. Like, this is a lot.
I watched the whole thing. I watched 2 human beings.
Section?
Yeah, be extracted from my wife's bowels.
My wife.
She's like, oh, they got to move all this and this and this and that out of the way, and then they're gonna just pull
entrails
them out of there. And I'm like, nope. That's
I
not
asked what
supposed
was
to be on your lap. It's supposed to be in your lap, not on your lap.
I asked what was what, and one of the doctors are like, I'll let so-and-so give you the tour.
Oh,
excuse me. Save some for the rest of us.
Frog out.
And he had 2 big tweezer-looking forehand, Edward Scissorhand-looking deals, and he was like, all right, this is the small intestine, this is the large intestine, this is the outer wall of her uterus, this is her abdominal muscles. Like, she was just going to give me the
See, I couldn't handle that. I love my wife inside and out, but I like the inside of her mentally. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know what it looks like. I don't want to know what it smells like.
Yeah, that's
I don't want to know what's on top of it, below it, beneath it, behind it.
It was a successful procedure. We were able to get head south, and because there was real concern about a C-section. Didn't want to do that because that's a longer recovery.
Yeah.
That
was the wildest thing for me. We went and visited one of her friends because all my children have been C-section, and it's like a day or 2 in there, and then she's, pretty ginger for the first few days at home. And we went and visited a friend that had a baby, and, we get to the hospital, and Jenna just on the door, and our friend just comes in and says, hey, guys, how you doing? I'm like, what the are you doing out of bed?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? And I guess it was her 3rd kid, but she's just hopping around. Like, come look at the baby. Like, showing us around. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Well, I tell you what. Once you get your land legs back after the epidural, I think Sparky's been pretty spot on with feeling pretty good. I mean,
that's just weird to me to blow a whole ass kid. Like, I've had some BMs that nearly laid me up a couple times. I can't imagine squirting a kid out. And then just, walking over to answer the door to get the pizza from the Papa John's or something.
You talk about that calf jack. You ever seen you ever seen them horse jacker guys? No. Have you ever, like the suction that they put on their heads when they're delivering vaginally?
Like Dan Aykroyd, the cone head.
Yeah, it turns them literally into a cone head.
Yeah, it works out, though, for the most part.
It's me, Mario.
Yeah, the calf jack. There was a wild situation. Janelle and I, we were married. I think we were married.
Your wife.
We were finishing the inside of the garage there with a little insulation and sheeting, and me and a few of the boys, friends of the program, were helping, and we were drinking beers as we were doing it. And my wife came in after a long day out in the rain in the pasture.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get a horse delivered. That was when you got to put the calf jack. Basically, you're just pulling. Calf's already dead.
Yeah.
I guess it's a foal when it's a horse. So I want to clarify. But when they basically, it sounds like it's a couple come-alongs and they just tie it to the freaking, and they just pull that son of a bitch out. But usually you're just trying to save mom at that point because they've been in labor for quite some time when that goes on. But she came in after a day and we were drunk, hanging boarded, and it was raining. Like, it was a hell of a storm. It was raining cats and dogs. She just walked in like with a face of disgust, and I was like, yeah, this is what married life's like, guys. It's great. All works out. But hey, we're going to get to it because Big Mace has got a great topic that he's very knowledgeable about, and he's actually won it a couple times. But it's going to be much better uncensored. Not to give it away, but that's what we call a tease in the business. But before we get to that, let's hear from Jumping Jacks.
Looking for a way to beat the heat and keep the kids busy this summer? Jumping Jacks Entertainment has you covered. For the month of June, when you rent any water slide or wet inflatable on a Monday or Tuesday, you'll get the next day absolutely free. That's double the splash and double the fun. With over 20 awesome water slides to choose from, Jumping Jacks has exactly what you're looking for. It's hot, but this summer just got way cooler with Jumping Jacks Entertainment. Give our buddy Justin a call today at 812-639-4696.
All right, big fella, what do you got?
Well, I was listening. So every day on my way to work, I listen to the radio.
I'm on a satellite
And
radio.
I don't listen to like satellite radio, or I don't listen to podcasts or anything. I literally just listen to the FM dial.
100.9 WBDC.
Yeah.
Our buddy Curdy G.
Yeah.
Shout out Mrs. Curdy G.
We're going
Hope
to
you're
cut
doing
that
well.
if they don't pay us. Not Mrs. Curdy G part.
Who's going to pay us?
100.9.
Oh, well, Curdy G and Mrs. Curdy G are institutionalized.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so shout out still to them, Miss Curdy G. Hope you're
Yeah.
well. Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, man, somebody. Speaking of RBF.
I'm sleepy.
Oh, he's sweepy.
So every day on my way to work, I listen to the morning radio, and they do a program called the Morning Brain Teaser. And I've noticed a couple of days this week where some answers that 100% could have been
Legitimate.
right were very X-rated.
Oh.
Mm.
And I just think that if they were to like play the beeps, you know what I mean? Like it would be a
The
lot
FCC won't let me be.
a lot more comical. So, for example, 40% of people say seeing this immediately puts them in a better mood.
Titties.
That's
Yeah,
100%.
that's exactly what I was thinking.
100% what my immediate thought was. Titties.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, the answer was sunset.
Oh, bullshit.
No.
Right. So then that was the one that kind of struck, that broke the ice.
Did anybody say the old titties?
Oh, yeah.
Well, allegedly, you just heard a beep.
You can't say titties on the air?
No.
Okay.
Well, there was that. Now my Safari won't open the page. So another one was a study shows that doing this will like increase brain function.
Jerking the gherkin.
And that was somebody said the same thing. Like
It's a clarity of thought thing.
masturbating was, they said that. And then, but the answer was like using the other hand.
Wait.
Yeah.
You're jerking the gherkin.
No, like for in
Oh.
general.
No, I don't have to edit jerking the gherkin, right?
No.
No.
Okay.
Not
We do
that's not-
bleep a lot in this. It's normally F-bombs or people's names to protect their privacy.
privacy.
I wonder why in the hell it's not working now.
Why does
Well.
it say it's not working?
You've been censored. The FCC won't let you be, bro.
So how's the rest of it go?
The FCC won't let me be.
So
Oh,
let
shit.
me.
Damn it.
They try to
I'm,
shut me
'cause
down.
I'm so empty without me.
Shout
Shout out Eminem.
hey, Marshall Mathers, fill in that tune. We'll tag him in this.
Yeah, he would love it.
But anyway, I was just thinking about some of the other ones that were like, today's question was, these two words are used to best describe your job.
Sucks.
38% of people, dude, that's exactly 38% of people describe their job in these two words. And that was 100% what I was going to write in. F***ing sucks.
Because we're brothers from another mother.
Yeah, like that's 100% what came to my mind. But you know what the answer was? Soul crushing.
or f***ing sucks in layman's terms.
Yeah. But I just think a lot of these
Do
morning.
you really think your job's soul crushing?
No, hell no.
mean-
I like my job.
Why would you stay somewhere if it was soul crushing?
Right.
I feel like the Undertaker.
Like the wrestler?
Like
No.
our buddy down the road.
Or don't feel the Reaper.
The Undertaker. Well, the Undertaker, but not the Undertaker. An Undertaker.
Oh, gotcha.
Sorry, people are dying to get in there.
You got an Undertaker down the road here?
Well, we all do.
Lives on the end of 161 there, pal.
A little south.
I wouldn't consider him an Undertaker.
I think that's exactly what he is.
Well, is there a difference between an Undertaker and a Gravedigger?
Yeah.
Yeah, the gravedigger.
Gravedigger's a gravedigger, and Undertaker's the one that
takes care of what's going under the ground.
Takes them under?
Well, he doesn't take him under, but he prepares him to be under.
Yeah.
From under.
Gravedigger, dig me a grave.
It's not how it goes.
I never even.
Gravedigger, would you dig my grave?
grave.
It's a Dave Matthews.
Would you dig it
song.
shallow enough so I can feel the rain? That
I got a
part's
hell of
good.
rich on my back, boys.
But yeah, kind of a short and sweet topic there. But
No, it's really not because we're going to drag it out. So what you're proposing is those at 100.9 WBDC. Shout out Curdy G.
I really wasn't gonna drop the station. Like I wasn't gonna bring like all that into it.
The
Like,
smartest person
that-
on the planet.
Like I was just kind of looking into.
So you're saying what
Like-
would be a fun clip is if we did live call-in with a trivia question.
Should we try to call
recorded and put it
somebody
out?
right now? And
No.
ask a question.
No, because it's
It's
One-
Friday night.
1:15 in the morning,
Who would we call at 1:50?
Saturday morning.
Usually Teddy Hoops has been.
Yeah, he's
Poor
sleeping.
bastard.
He's got to get up in a couple of hours.
Yeah, he's
Gotta-
probably playing Junebug.
Golf tournament.
Well, he's got to get the course ready. Yeah.
Yeah, for the June bug.
And then go play. and
We'll
win.
think of somebody. We'll call him on my computer so it's in the Bluetooth.
But you know what I'm saying? Like that would be fun. Where you did like a trivia question. Frogs are in here. But
It's
yeah,
tight.
toy like a toy go.
Damn.
That's all you can say.
Sweet little ass on you there.
Look at them cheeks. Grave.
This is a train wreck. But yeah, so we'll call into a radio show and then we'll just record it and tell them to not censor it. But really,
I don't
the
think that'll
radio
work
show will
because
be
the
on our show.
FCC is
Won't let me
overpowering
be.
them,
Yeah,
whereas we don't have that because we are a.
Yeah, so we'll just do our own trivia question.
Yeah, let's do our own trivia question. If you're going to ask a trivia
New
question
segment
right now,
alert.
what would it be?
huh?
What was your question?
So if you were going to ask a trivia question right now, what would it be?
What was yesterday in history?
Ah, I've got the answer. Thursday, the 5th of June.
What's the answer?
What also marks? Yesterday was not Thursday, the 5th of June.
Yeah, it was. Today's
No,
Friday the
no,
6th.
Yesterday was you're stupid.
At this point where we're
Yesterday was Friday the 6th.
Okay, because it's 12.
it's 1.
Because it's 1:14.
So Thursday would have been the 5th.
Yes.
Friday the 6th. Today is Saturday the 7th.
Yeah, I understand.
Yesterday was D-Day.
Oh, that's a good one.
One of
Yeah,
the largest
I know.
amphibious assaults.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's wild to think that that's been 81 years. Like
Crazy.
like there's not very many.
I feel like we all looked at each other, questioned whether it was actually 81 years.
well, June 6, 1944.
There you go.
We're in
81.
2025.
Yeah, there you go.
80 gets you in 2024. We had one for 5. It's
Yeah, I had one for 5.
81.
There you go.
That's wild.
Who's Rain Man now?
Thank you. Innate ability for math.
For those that are listening and not watching, I just pointed my aluminum beer bottle at Brother Casey.
I'm not bad at math.
No, hell no. I'm not even good at math. I've just got an innate skill. I'm a powerful estimator. I would never take anything I say for like 100% fact, but it's pretty damn close. You know what I mean?
That I believe.
Yeah.
I believe that 100%.
Powerful estimator.
Yeah. So anything else on morning radio trivia?
Now,
Have you won in a while?
Yeah, no, not in a while.
Are they blackballing you?
No, I just don't try to call.
Now, what
in.
is it? You get 3 tasty tenders and 3 taters? Yeah.
The Sonny's 3 and 3 deal?
Mm-hmm.
You ever go up there for lunch?
Nope.
I ain't either.
Not
Where
since I
at?
worked at IFI.
Yeah.
Which one?
But I would
Sonny's.
normally go to
Is that the
Blimpies.
one there on the south side?
Blimpies.
There's also one in Celestine.
Oh, yeah, that's
It used to be.
That's still there, I think.
And then you got the one by 15th.
I drive by 15 of them Sonny's to get to Sternberg's.
I've never eaten out of Sternberg.
You know, hot
What?
take. They've got, here's
Hot
the deal.
take.
What makes them good is it's
they ain't
Merkley's
changed the
patties,
grease. Oh, well.
but they ain't changed the grease. And they also put them tachos and tornados and everything else in that same stuff. So
They don't sell tornadoes because those are made on a roller. They sell pizza puffs,
yeah.
fish, chicken strips, tater wedges.
I'm just telling you that a
French fries,
a
pizza,
Merkley's
corn dogs.
breakfast sandwich off the Blackstone at any one of our places is better than a Merkley's breakfast sandwich from a gas station. That gas station.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
What point you trying to make?
Well, I think he's trying to say that
They're not doing Merkley's any justice. I'm glad they're selling them.
that's what he's trying to say. I knew we'd get to it.
Corn dogs are on point.
I fucking love corn dogs.
Are you a big corn dog guy?
Yeah.
What do you put on them?
Mustard.
Man, I tell you what, I'm on mustard all the way. But
You would
on a
say
corn
ketchup,
dog,
wouldn't you?
mustard and ketchup.
Queer.
Mixed together.
Well, you got to mix them together when you're just spreading it across the top of that thing.
What color does it turn?
Red and yellow make orange.
Orange.
Green. No, that's blue.
Probably turns
make
brown
green.
because you stick them corn dogs up your fucking ass. Man, guys, listen.
Let's
Papa-
have corn dogs.
No.
Papa Frank bought some chicken corn dogs. He's been
Hey,
trying to
was
get
he
rid
upset
of.
with you
What?
the other day after
Chicken corn dogs.
you said he wasn't going to be real proud with you after the puking rally for the case race? Did he mention it?
He didn't mention it. He didn't say
Good
anything.
guy, good guy. He wanted to. He just
Yeah, he
being decent.
he knows. He knows there's some things out there. So
Heathen.
here's what I'm wondering about. Where in the world
Is Carmen San Diego?
Yeah, that was kind
attaboy. Where someone's perception and reality gets so far off that it's just mind-boggling.
US of A, 2020 to now.
What do you mean?
Everybody now, their perception is their reality.
Well, I mean, what I'm going to go through is I experience in coaching, I see a lot of individuals in which they believe their skills are at a certain level when they're clearly not. And I'm not speaking of anything specifically, but I'm just saying, like, there's such a wide gap between the perception and the reality. And especially,
self-awareness has become skewed over.
well, and it's about the parents to their kids. Like last week's episode, big fella, you recognize what your kids are doing to you. And you got to, figure out how to do it. But there's some people that would have zero issue with it because their kids are just, they can never be wrong or
My
take
kid
advantage of a
is so
situation.
popular. Somebody wants him to come over every day. Most popular kid in school.
I hate that.
Is that a real thing?
I'm
Yeah.
just assuming that's their perception of some folks. Like, oh, sure, I'll drive you here, Mr. Popularity.
But is it the parents living through the kids? Like you used to hear,
Vicariously.
good pool there. Like you used to hear about it with like, as it relates to sports.
Oh, yeah.
But obviously, Dave, you're not a big sports guy. You're a horse guy.
Yeah, I am not pushing my kids to do sports to make up for my shortcomings in any means, because I'm pretty good at drinking beer, and I don't need them to make up for what I can do.
But like, let's use Max as an example. Max is obviously going to play football, right? I'm not saying anything that's
He
out
plays
of turn.
football.
But are you going to be that dad on the sidelines that's like, hey, Alabama's coming up to look at him? And you're like, dude,
You can do it, Johnny.
there's no way. His 40 times this, his bench is this, his squat's that, his awareness is terrible. Like, that's what I'm getting at. Like, there's some people that believe their
I feel
children.
like you're being awful hard on Max.
No. Hey,
He's got a club foot. He ain't playing in the SEC.
Max is going to find out.
Oh, super educational colleges. Super educational.
Oh, God.
I can tell what SEC stands for.
Southeastern Conference.
There you go. That's what I meant.
I know exactly what you're talking about. People that think that their kids are God's gift to that sport.
It's because you both are coaches.
Yeah. And then you look back and you're thinking,
Really?
but the funny thing is you look at like a team sport.
Water polo.
Sometimes they can get lost in the fog. You know what I mean? Like your son or daughter doesn't play shortstop. But the shortstop that game
Sucked.
ass.
Maybe it was just an off day for him.
But you automatically know that your son or daughter didn't f up that game because they were the bat girl.
Can't it up if you're on the bench.
And they're
True.
So that automatically makes them better than that shortstop that had a bad day.
Yeah.
Better riding the bench.
And then they just instinctually live in this fantasy world where they think that, well, he didn't play that much, so he didn't have an opportunity to screw up, so he's got to be better than the kid that's out there screwing up the whole time.
I just
And they believe it.
and I have that conversation with Janelle all the time. If my kids are terrible at sports, let it be. If they want to get, like, I hope I'm grounded enough to know, like, hey, Zoe, softball's not your thing with that swing because there's a lot of holes in it. She's 7, obviously, so it's not like that big of a deal. But if I'm
Maybe cut grass with a reaper.
yeah, that'd probably help. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those deals, like, where I tell Janelle all the time, like, because Janelle's not a sports person. Like, you could put her in Dave's category.
Yeah.
Like, she would want my kids to, oh boy, like, and there's we support.
What you got to say?
We support cross country. We support our runners.
I was in cross country in 6th grade.
With the bitchins.
Didn't do very well.
Oh,
Get out of here. It's hard to smoke cigarettes and run 3 miles.
I don't know. I knew a couple guys that did it.
Yeah, I played at rugby against some guys that were ripping darts.
Hey,
and warm
he's
up.
doing better.
Who is?
One of the guys he knows that smokes cigarettes are in cross country.
Oh, yeah, I know. I saw that post. I'm glad he's doing well.
Yeah.
Hard to believe it's been 6 weeks.
Doesn't seem that long.
No, it doesn't. But I don't know. I just struggle with it. Because, like, I'd love to be the one that, like, pokes the hole in that bubble, but it's not.
Now, see, now I
Like,
feel
how do you
bad
get out of that?
Self-awareness wise, because to your point, like, hey, I like sports. If my kids aren't good at it, I'd be like, hey, well, maybe you should
Work harder.
try chess or whatever. And I like watching my kids play sports. But like the last 2 weeks, hey, we should go to this game. Why? Our kid ain't playing. Like, I just couldn't give 2 shits less about sports. I'm sure there's some good things that come from it, like, I don't know, premature back injuries, shoulder surgeries, knee
problems,
surgeries,
ankles.
all sorts of good things that you would want your child to have when they're in their late 20s and early 30s. But I just can't give a shit.
So the perception versus the reality thing is not something for you. Like, it's not a problem.
Right, because my perception of sports is so low. Like, I mean, I like watching UFC, and I watched the Super Bowl, and
Who won the Super Bowl this year?
yeah, good call. I have no idea. We're a Cardinals house, and I like going to watch Cardinals baseball.
You love to drink beer at Cardinals.
That's exactly right. And I made the comment to my wife because she was like, "Let's go to this baseball game," and it was Jasper versus Vincennes.
That was a good one.
Unpopular opinion: Vincennes is a big part of my life, and Vincennes is where I thought that I'd die. Like I was going to move back to Vincennes someday.
You really love Vincennes that much?
I love it so much. I learned everything that is me from Vincennes. Like at 100%, like that's where I became me, was Vincennes, Indiana. America's first college, or Indiana's first college.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know. I just get weirded out going to children's games if I don't have a child playing or somebody to watch,
A mild form of pedophilia, I do believe, is what Dave told me one time.
It's exactly because nobody would feel good about going to a park and watching kids play on the monkey bars.
Yeah, that's awkward, though.
Yeah, so is going to watch kids play baseball.
Yeah, but it's open to the public.
So are parks.
Yeah, but sitting down watching a kid play across the monkey bars is different than a
Semantically, we are saying the same thing, and I know we have differences of opinions, but the Little League park is just as public as the playground park, and watching somebody else's kids play at it is weird. I don't care who you are.
Well, I mean, at that age, yeah. Like if there was some random guy watching 6U
Okay, so let's
softball.
put ourselves at the public pool, and you're watching all the high school girls go swimming.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, okay, so that's a sport.
Yeah, but they're not swimming; they're lifeguarding.
No, I'm talking about just
There's talking about a high school swim meet.
No, yeah, high school swim meets and just going to the public pool on a Tuesday at 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't because I'm not a big swimming guy.
Again, we're just different spectrums of the end.
There's a spectrum here for sure.
Risen with the tism.
By the way, have you ever watched what is that show with autistic individuals and they get in relationships?
Love on the Spectrum.
Have you ever watched that?
Mm-hmm.
I will get that one couple on TikTok.
Austin?
I don't know which one it is. One of them was going to the CMAs this week.
Yeah.
Or in real time this week. But another one, I forget the other guy, but it's kind of cool.
Tanner.
Yeah, it might be it.
He's the one that loves Jack Black.
Ooh.
Jack Black. That's all I got. I don't know. It just was one of those things that perception versus reality when it comes to your kids, find a way to be more grounded.
Being able to...
But isn't everybody's reality just a matter of their perception? Bum, bum, bum.
Being able to admit the fact that your kid sucks ass is really hard.
I mean, I guess that's what it comes down to.
No, it's 100% what you're talking about. Being
Yeah.
able to admit or agree that your son or daughter sucks ass at the sport that they're trying to compete in is an extremely hard pill to swallow. Because you know the amount of work and time that you put into
That's a good point.
the sport or how much they put into it.
Doesn't meet up to what they need to do to
Exactly.
be successful, but they
Exactly.
think they are
But they
successful.
think they are. Or
Yeah.
they go to God, you're getting worse as they come along. You go through great lengths to make sure that
It looked like fruit out of the water.
circus in here. But you go through great lengths to make sure that they get the same opportunities and experiences as everybody else. But like at the end of the day, here's my take on this.
Give it to us.
At the end of the day, there comes a point where the competitive edge has to come through.
Yes.
Now, 6U softball is not the time for that.
Agreed.
7U, 8U, 10U softball is not the time for that. You start getting into like high school and middle school baseball and middle school football, middle school baseball, high school football, high school baseball, high school basketball. There comes a point in your child's life where you're going to have to basically let that reality slap you in the mouth. That is,
Have you ever thought about factory work?
we are here to win games.
Mm-hmm.
And we as coaches, or they as coaches, are going to put together the most cohesive, athletically sound, and competitive squad that they can put in, regardless of what sport it is, for one common goal.
Yes.
And that's to win football
Now, let me
games
ask
or
you
win
this.
baseball games. And if your son is not part of that cast,
And then the real problem is
Work
Let me
harder.
play devil's advocate.
work harder.
Let me play devil's advocate.
Okay.
Why do you let that kid on the team?
because we're a small school and you need the numbers.
But if you're never going to let him play because he's just not good, he just doesn't have it, or she doesn't have it, why do you put him on the team?
What happens whenever the kid that does have it gets hurt or has a doctor's appointment or is sick? You're just not going to play. You just
A loss is a loss, right? Whether it's a forfeit or a loss isn't the same thing, and just save everybody's gas money and time. Why go to the game if you're going to lose if all it's about is winning? A loss is a loss. There's not a fourth number in the, the 2 and 1 and 1. There's not another one for forfeits because our kid was sick, but we tried.
But that's where the competitive edge comes. If you knew that you were going to win every game, then what's the point? What's
But
the point of being
if you're
that
not going
dominant
out to
force?
lose, why put somebody on the team that can't bring something to the table?
Because in reality, you'd probably have a handful of kids and that's it. So like in football, like
So if you're not going to win anyway, why go? Why play at all?
Because what if you do win?
But you're not. If you're just going for
How
the
do you
best
know
kid.
you're not going to?
Because this kid doesn't have the athletic aptitude. and
Today.
we know that.
Today,
I was just going back to your argument of
Have a day.
sometime you got to have the
have
talk.
a day.
It's just
Have
not
a
gonna,
day.
It's just not going to happen.
Well, yeah, I got cut from the middle school basketball team because I fucking sucked. And that was blatantly obvious. You don't cut kids from football teams unless they're shitheads. You know, you can only play 9 baseball players at one time. 90% of the time, a baseball team doesn't
So
carry.
why have more than 11?
Huh?
So why have more than 11?
Because it's a full contact sport and you have skill players. It's just a different sport, situational.
I'm saying baseball. Why have more than 11 if there's only 9? That's not a full contact sport, is it? Baseball?
Can be.
could be.
Is it considered that?
Well, and I guess what it leads to though is it leads to these adults that we sometimes see in like your workplace or my workplace that have zero. And I guess that's where it comes to a deeper reality is when you can't have that dose of reality early on. Not that you want to completely ruin it all, but to make a well-adjusted adult to where it's like, dude, you can't handle me having a conversation with you because you think that you've grown up in this bubble where, and I guess that's the bigger thing. I mean, we got caught on the sports stuff because that's where we see it. We coach, your kids play. But I guess more of like in the workplace, like this day and age, like communication with some of these kids, like verbal, like in-person communication, the interpersonal skills,
It's terrible.
terrible.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
But it's one of those things. Don't hang your head, Dave. You're okay.
I was looking at my feet.
But it comes to one of those deals where, like, if you screwed up at work and your boss came in and railed you a new one about it, you're not just going to look at him and say, well, I quit because that can't be possible. Like, you're going to find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
But in this day and age, when the perception versus the reality hits, the answer for a lot of times is, well, just quit because obviously they're wrong, or go find another team. Like in the travel sports situation, like that's the part where it bothers me is, and I know Dave is not a big sports guy, but I think there's a lot of valuable lessons learned.
Now,
in
granted,
sport.
I love my kids playing sports, and I like watching my kids playing sports.
Yes.
I just don't get
Just
into
not
it.
anybody else. So, like when he watches a baseball game, he hyper focuses on only his child,
Yes.
no one else. Because then that's a mild form of pedophilia.
But
If your boss comes in and tells you that you're being a lazy and you say, yeah, I know. I am. I need to pick it up. And you make an adjustment, and then you don't be a lazy shit anymore. Or if you come into work and your boss tells you that you're being a lazy and then you look straight at your boss and say, "No, you're stupid. That's wrong. I'm not lazy." That's where that whole perception versus reality.
And I guess that's
thing
where I
comes
was going deeper. Is it starts at these early ages, and not that you should ever ruin a kid's dream of what he wants to do, but there also has to be a dose of that. Like,
Yeah, I wanted to be an NBA star. Thanks a lot, Scott Blasey. You know what I mean?
oh, Scooter Blasey.
You know, but in reality, it's like
Never heard of her.
this guy,
Him.
this kid is never going to be able to make it up and down the basketball floor. Not a chance.
Yeah.
You know, duh. Yeah, I know. I sucked, so I got cut. And then you move on. And then you go to the next sport. And then you find success.
You hope.
You hope.
But I guess that was the deeper part of it is we see these kids.
Participation trophy, folks. I honestly think that when did that shit stop? Or start? I mean, I remember getting participation trophies like for soccer when I was a little
And you know, this is
on the yellow team.
I've been all for saying I've got hot takes. I don't think participation trophies are bad as long as that it's obvious.
There's an
that
emphasis on that you still got
means,
something.
hey, thanks for coming out and trying every week or every day or every month or whatever the schedule is. We recognize your effort. Now, when you confuse participation with, success, that's a different thing.
That's exactly what.
But so I don't have a problem with participation. Like, hey, little Jimmy, you suck, but you're persistent.
Hey, thanks for showing up every week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like the whole win or lose thing. Like, you know, that they don't keep score when they're this age, or they don't, whatever, because by design, you're not there to win, you're there to get better. But then there comes a point when the whole time you spend not keeping score, all those experiences and all that time builds up to where, all right, now it's time to start keeping score. Now it's time to see where
Sink or swim.
Yep, all of your hard work and your preparations it's time to shine. See where you shake out against the rest of them.
And I think
then
that should
if you
happen.
suck and you lose, then you've got two choices, man. You can either fix it
Or quit.
or move on. And I feel like a lot of people just move on.
And I think it should start earlier, though. Like, there's a winner and loser in life. And, like, the sooner you can
Right.
do that and figure out a way to communicate that.
I would be supportive of. So exactly what you're saying, I was thinking of, and where I'm driving at here, I guess, is okay. Nobody's winning, nobody's losing. We're all learning. Seems like there should be an intermediate area. Like, hey, little Jimmy, I know you've been on the team for 4 or 5 years now, but in 2 years you got to earn it.
Yeah.
We're not going to let you go now, but you better listen. Because that would be the only thing I'd say, and that's what I was driving at the why let him on the team. You get to a point to where it is winning and losing, and if that's the goal, don't let the loser on the team. Like, you let the loser on the team, and then the loser thinks, well, I've got a right to be here like anybody else.
Yeah.
Does that kid know that he's a loser?
And that's the entitlement.
Have we let him know that? Or did we just
pass it
assume
along
that he would figure it out when the time came, and now you got some little shitbox here that thinks he's as good as the best kid on the team just because he's on the team? And maybe that's where we're getting lost at, is just by not wanting to hurt feelings.
Bingo.
Not wanting to hurt feelings, we don't let people know to see those lines. In
People
the
out
sand.
there that are afraid to call a spade a spade.
Right. So at
And
fourth
not
grade,
being able-
fifth
not
grade,
being able-
you say, hey, we've been telling you for 6 years, you've got to be able to hit the little round thing. You got to hit that with that stick, kid. If you can't hit that with that stick, the Mendoza line's real. You got to be at least doing 269 or whatever the it was.
one something.
And if you can't, well, maybe be good at reading. and then just let little Timmy know that you suck, kid. Get better or get out. Instead of just, yep, you're on the team because that's how we've always done it, and now you're here. And, well, your job is just keep that bench from moving.
You just got to look at the long line of successful programs in any sport and just kind of see how they do shit. And I guarantee you, in these successful programs, and you look back through it and everything like that, there's probably a lot of people with hurt feelings.
Correct.
But at the end of the day,
feelings don't get hurt if there's a clear definition of expectations.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no gray
Not to
area.
say they won't get hurt, but there's no reason to be hurt. You knew what you were signing up for.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a lesson to learn at any age.
Amen.
It's very thought-provoking and profound. So much so, we better take a pause for the cause. Brought to you by an organization near and dear to my heart, the MFL Foundation.
The MFL Foundation is something that is near and dear to Esquire's heart. The mission of the MFL Foundation is to continue the legacy of Esquire's mother and also provide scholarships for students interested in studying nursing. To raise funds, the foundation hosts a junior golf tournament at Huntingburg Country Club. This year's date is July 9th. Sign your youth golfer up today by heading over to MFL Foundation's Facebook page and sign up via TeamLinked.
All right, and we're back. We are back. Dave, what you got?
Well, we've talked about this a couple times on the show and how it takes like 5.5 cents to make a penny.
Oh, again?
2.5 cents. But recently, maybe not super recently, but in the last 6 months, come 2026, we're going to stop production of the penny. Now, that being said, they stopped making $half pieces decades ago, and it's still legal tender. A penny is still going to be legal tender, but they're not going to make it.
They think there's enough of them in the world floating around that they'll be fine.
And there will be. But my topic is all the things that have to change, or that could change because the penny's no longer made. And same thing, I get in, like, the first thing I want to go to, like, just with the way my brain works, is taxes. Like, we got a 7% tax, sales tax in Indiana. Well, if you don't have a penny, you can't do that.
Correct.
It's always got in at a 5 or a 0. Because all we're going to have is nickels, dimes, and quarters. So we're never going to have anything other than 5 or 0 for the ending, digit. But, and this could be like I hear, or somebody once told me that like clear as mud. You ever hear? You understand? Yep, clear as mud. And I think that started something about the Abraham Lincoln assassination. The guy they thought did its name was Mudd at first, last name 2 D's, M-U-D-D. And they just knew that he was the one. Like, it was clear as mud. Like, yep, that's good, did it.
I don't think that's how it started at all.
I think so.
Samuel Mudd was the doctor that treated John Wilkes Booth.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, because he's kinfolk of mine. Not
Now,
John Wilkes Booth.
Did they think that he had something to do with it? Like he was a conspirator?
They thought he might have been a sympathizer, but he was the doctor that treated.
Okay, well, apparently I don't know what I'm talking about. But what I drive at is, and our whole podcast is based around it loosely. But, right now, if you say, well, my 2 cents, and everybody knows what you mean by that, and it has nothing to do with currency, but we know what 2 cents is, and it's not much.
Yeah.
But is that going to be a thing? Like, how long is it going to take for that to phase out? Like, what the hell do you mean 2 cents? There's nickels, dimes, and quarters. Like, just, pick around what's going to change with the death of the penny.
Well, I mean, I guess the death of this phrase wouldn't happen until people would realize that there was a cent. You know what I mean? Like a penny in and of itself is worth 1 cent.
But we'll have 5 cents.
That's what I'm saying. There's something there to put a comparison where the phrase could realistically update itself to be, here's my 5 cents. Doesn't sound right, but if the the mental conception of what a penny is worth when you compare it to a $100 bill, you realize it's very insignificant. It's 1%. So when you lose that and don't know that a penny is 1% of that $100 bill in your pocket,
I hadn't even thought about math changing because of this.
why would math change? 1 + 1 will still equal 2. Unless you're in some of them school districts that do them funky math things. But that
Now, hold on now. This is a wild tangent. Percent. 1%, 2%, 3%. Is it percent? Like, I know we use it as one word, but did it start as two? And what I'm saying is, in the UK, does that still hold water? Because they don't have cents.
Brother Dave, I follow you. I will.
Hey, I'm going to jump over on the couch for a little bit. Just holler at me when it's time for...
But what I'm saying, when you said that 1 is 1% of 100,
But in the comparison of a penny to a $100 bill,
which is okay.
I mean, I get
1%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that.
But how
part
does that
won't
work
change.
in the UK?
What's the UK use?
They don't have cents.
Surely they have something considered penny-like. It's a shilling.
Do they say 1 per shilling?
They may.
How much gas you got? 50 per shilling.
50 per shillings, my dear sir. Are you looking it up? I don't know what you're doing. You're so mad at your phone, like you're still using it, but then you're mad at
You
it.
guys picking them up and putting it down? Am I that far off? Like,
I mean,
is that where it's coming from? Like $1 is 1%? Like a what? 1%?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, what you're talking about is changing.
This is not what my topic is, but now that you've worded it that way, that's something I've often wondered.
Okay, so I should have said a $20 bill.
Right? Yeah, because
Then that would be
Percent by a specified amount in or for every 100. 2 words as a noun. Per cent. 1 part in every 100. The rate, number, or amount in each 100 percentage.
Okay, so you're telling me the UK has percentages, but because they have a different dollar scale, a quarter would not be 25% like it is here. A shilling would be like 13.5% of a pound.
But isn't there a certain extent to where math is universal?
Yes, math is always universal, but this goes back to your topic of perception and reality. It's what are you basing that zero off of?
According to what Big Fella just read, it's based off 100. So
Right,
they still
but
have.
if you don't have a way to count, so the smallest form we can count out of 100 is 1 because we have pennies. Soon to be nickels.
Yeah, but I think you're convoluting the two different distinct entities in
British English, the word percent is generally spelled per cent. Percentage is also known and used, but the spelling is percentage, not percent or percentage. So percent is the equivalent to percent in British English.
I know the word is the same,
I don't think it's going anywhere.
but they don't have cents.
Yeah, well,
But then there's the mathematical concept, not the currency concept.
exactly. The percent is like the percent is out of 100. It has nothing to do with money.
You guys are. It's good. It's good.
What do you mean? I know that the fucking English they have quid. Quid is $1. Like one quid is $1. 1 pound is $1. Like
It's not $1.
rupees, shillings,
What the hell do they eat?
yen. Oh, 1
One per yen.
1 per yen. Like it's percent, David. It's not. It doesn't have anything to do with the fucking currency in in the area that you're talking about. It's a number percentage 1 out of 100. It has nothing to do with their f***ing currency. You dumbass.
We're just. Yep. Okay.
Two shifts.
Do you not believe it? Do you not think I'm right?
No, I know you're right.
Thank you. Can I get that in writing?
It's on the internet.
Everybody heard it.
It will be on the internet.
Right. So I don't think like the topic or the phrase "my 2 cents" will go anywhere when the penny is gone. Because generationally, people will
we're
just
going back to the topic.
because generationally people will just say what they hear.
But they'll never heard of a cent.
A penny for your thoughts, a quarter for your call.
Oh, yeah, penny's not even a thing.
Well, and who calls anybody for a quarter anymore?
Not me.
See, but it's still, hey, a penny for your... Hey,
But
between
the
you, me, and a
word won't
post.
exist. Okay, it'll exist. But other than a name, without the U.S. currency, what does penny mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like once we're getting rid of it, it'll be a thing of the past. Like like nobody uses thee anymore. Thou, like it's still a word, but nobody uses it.
But it's still...
That's a very simple.
But it's but to your point, it's still in the dictionary, so penny will still be in the dictionary.
Yeah,
It'll
like
just-
BRB's in the dictionary now.
Well, they update to the common time, but it's still, they don't delete.
Yeah,
things.
they do.
I mean, yeah, current events sometimes.
And I'm not talking about our generation or Wyatt's grandkids' generation, but sooner or later, like now we have, will this nullify the need for the word cent?
But do you have a phrase right now that you use that you have no clue necessarily the origin story or how it's ever been?
Clear as mud. Lots of people use that all the time. I have no idea what it's about.
Yeah, but it's not tied to Lincoln's assassination, I don't believe. He's going to look it up here eventually.
I think it is because of the doctor thing. Like clear as mud. Because it makes no sense. Like it's a contradiction. That's not the word I'm looking for. It is, but
it's hyperbole, right?
And so when you say clear as mud, you're like, yeah, I don't get it. But I think when it started, it meant
you still didn't get it. So you said, is that clear as mud?
No, it made sense. Like, oh, yeah, 100% on board. That's where that came from because everybody thought that.
Don't.
Listeners and not watchers, Mace was just really giving me a real, like, come on,
Big
Dave, wrap it up. Look.
Big stink.
No, I'm just, the British call it penny because the term penny has its old roots in the old term word being pennig, which referred to a coin or money in general. The Old English pennig itself came from the Proto-Germanic paniga, the first modern English coin, the silver penny of King Offa.
Now, see, I didn't know that.
In the 8th century, also used the word penny. This name has been used for the smallest British currency for centuries, which its plural being pence.
See, I thought that was a
I'll pay
strictly
you
us
6
thing.
pence.
Yeah. Okay. So this negates my whole.
So the
concern.
word penny comes from British, a British coin.
Yeah.
The smallest form of the British
And that's
money
where I
would
was
be
mistaken.
yeah.
I
Which means
thought that was something purely us after we whipped their asses.
So really, we just wasted 15 minutes.
At least.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, it's time now for the Merkley and Sons.
It's time now for
Choice.
the Merkley.
The Merkley and Sons choice questions of the week for the fellows. Brought to you by
Brought to you by my wife.
my wife. It was that accent. Brought to you by Merkley and Sons, the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts.
We heard the rumors. We hope they weren't true, but your social media posts tell us otherwise. The rumor that is true, and not actually a rumor at all, is that for your Memorial Day weekend cookout, you didn't buy your meat from Merkley & Sons. We aren't mad, just disappointed. Wait. Check that. Yep, we're mad, you dumb. Merkley's is the ultimate meat destination for a reason. 4th of July is getting close. Don't screw this up again.
All right, here we go. We have some listener-provided choice cut questions, which is great. We appreciate them.
How it started, actually.
Yeah, that's true. And here's the other thing. Our buddy Corky Schmidt, who's going to listen to this episode, he ain't
Where
seen,
you been, pal?
Yeah, ain't seen anything in a while.
Bubby.
Yeah, pal. Anyways, our friend down the road there, Chad Wortman of Wortman Farms, and he farms turkeys.
He went to college in my hometown.
Yeah, Earlham guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's in the Earlham Hall of Fame.
Really?
Earlham.
Earlham.
Did not know that.
I think he is. Would you rather always have wet socks or armpit sweat that shows through your shirt?
Pit sweat, without a doubt.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
never going with wet socks.
Yeah, wet socks is a terrible idea. Would you rather sleep on a comfy mattress and be hot or sleep on the floor but always be the perfect temperature?
On the floor with a tent.
I'm not sleeping on the floor.
I think I'd got to go comfy mattress because I don't know that the floor would be great either.
Yeah.
If you were stuck in a cabin in the woods, would you rather play the same 3 board games of choice or watch the same 3 movies over and over?
This is a tough one to answer because I feel like there's a hidden variable. If you're going to play board games, you're there with somebody. So who am I there with?
Okay.
But just for to entertain the question, probably the board games because that could change.
Movies. Pick them apart.
Man. Situational.
I was assuming that meant forever, not just for like a day or 3.
Yeah.
Like if it was years, board games. If it was a week, movies.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good one. I just think it's situational. It may not even apply, but I'm just going to say situational. If you could be a professional athlete, what sport besides golf would you want to do and why? What would you want to do and why is it being a thrower in the Olympics? That's obviously a personal point of reference there.
I suppose if I was going to be a professional athlete that wasn't golf, this is going back to childhood dreams.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to be a bull rider.
Yep.
Crystal Dew. I'm going to sing some country
Something
songs.
in the PBR there, somewhere in there.
Not Pabst Blue Ribbon. Professional bull riding. Isn't that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah, PBR. What about you, big fella?
I guess NFL.
I'd have to say Major League Baseball.
Okay.
Because there's some longevity to that career. Golf would still be the top. If you had to live without your thumbs or your big toes, which would you choose?
Big toes, 100%. I could go without flip-flops, but I can't imagine not being able to give somebody the old, what's up, lighter?
I'm going toes as well.
The toes thing, though, is because of the balance. The thumb things is because you want to be able to grasp things. I guess it just depends on how much the big toe would throw you off.
Awful hard to drink a beer without a thumb. Okay, well, mates just proved me wrong. But you wouldn't have that thing either. Oh, maybe you would in this instance. Now, a beer you could do with the old 2-finger...
Spider claw? I'd say probably lose big toe.
Yeah, that toe.
Finally, what's the best Shrek movie? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
1.
God. He would.
Because he's an ogre.
Ogre. I'd say the first one, yeah.
I don't think you can beat the original.
Yeah.
So that's where we'd have to go. Chad, thank you for the questions. We appreciate them. Keep sending them in. It's To our friends over there at Merkley & Sons, we appreciate you for continuing your support of this podcast. And now it's time for some final thoughts brought to you by The Rugged Foot.
Wanderers, we don't ask for much, but we are asking now. Please, please, please head over to Facebook and like and share The Rugged Foot of Huntingburg. Mike has a wonderful Facebook page that not only shows what he has in stock, but also what he's got on special. I was perusing Mike's Facebook page just the other night and was impressed with not only the variety of boots, but the fact that he carries quality boots for work, hiking, and leisure. Not only does he sell the boots, but he also has the socks and accessories you need to keep your feet happy. Stop by on Facebook and stop by in person.
All right, big fella, what you got? No, not big fella. You're big fella.
Smoke Dragon.
Smoke Dragon, what do you got?
You know, shit, I don't know. These 2 in a row are what we've always done, almost. But I have nothing great to add. Just, be you and don't be a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, to capitalize on what Dave said, sorry I'm being such a wet blanket, but I'm a little under the weather, not feeling the greatest. Haven't really acclimated to the heat and humidity yet. But we'll get there. Yeah, always try to find the positivity in things and keep your stick on the ice.
Thank you for talking into the mic like this. Big shout out and word of appreciation to our buddy Mark Seibert. I always think of C. It throws me off so bad. Celebration Ice, we appreciate them. Jumping Jacks, myself and my board of directors. And the MFL Foundation. Merkley & Sons, and, of course, Rugged Foot. We appreciate you guys being on board this month. June's over.
Yes, sir.
Like 4th of July is right around the corner, and the kids get back to school.
We played May ads in the first week of June for the Wanderers.
Yeah, that was poor planning.
Oh, shit. We got to record ads tonight.
No. We'll get that worked out. I just got a few things, skillets in the iron. But, enjoy your summer because it'll be gone. And I got
a few skillets made of iron.
And I had a very interesting thing. Obviously, with baseball over, I took the 2 boys to the park. We had a little picnic. Nice. They got to play, and it really was enjoyable not to have to, go to baseball or do that. Not that it's a drag. It gets long towards the end of the year, but, thank a youth coach because they're taking time away from their family or other things they want to do. But when I was standing there at the park, I realized their laughs and giggles was a nice changeover.
And that's why we do what we do.
When they're all in bed.
Laughs and
late
giggles.
at night.
Laughs and giggles.
Laughs and giggles and tummy sticks. Send us
Dutchmen out.
See you next week.